What is up, guys? It's me, Hacks. Back again with another game update here. We got some new stuff for you, so let's just get right into that, I suppose. Yeah, there's not too much more stuff to do in terms of menus and stuff. I got just about most of it done, I think. So, yeah, most of the menus. I think there's only one thing that doesn't work now. Let's see. What's first? Looking at the code list here because I do so many things that I forget what I do. Let's see. Oh yeah, loading screens. Okay, let's do that first. That's easy. So before, when you loaded something, it would just freeze, and now it doesn't. Now you get a nice loading screen when you load a level. So let's do that. You couldn't really see it, but because it loads really fast on my computer. Let's try a different one. The last save location now goes to the main menu too. So the last save place was the sandbox, so it looks like a sandbox. Of course, this is not going to be in the final game because it's a very bad JPEG of a sandbox. But you get the point, right? Like, you won't even be able to go into the sandbox level in the real game. So, all right. For example, if I load this, so you get a nice little loading screen, and it's a real loading screen. So, if the game loads everything, then it'll destroy it. It's not like on a delay or anything like that. So, it took me a little bit to come up with a way to do that because there's actually no documentation on it. At least for a World Partition, there's not the type of level. So I had to figure it out myself. Yeah, that was it was a little bit of a challenge, but I figured it out, which is pretty cool. So that's loading screens. Let's see what else there is here. I guess difficulty. Yes, you can choose difficulty now. And you can spawn in a different location based on where you're saved. So, for example, we used to come in normally. It's here. I have a couple saves here. Let's see. I make too many saves. Let's do this one. So you can see I'm in a different spot because that's where I saved. Okay. And difficulty. So by default, it's the journalist difficulty, which is the easiest one. But you can save as whichever one you want. If you access the widget, where you can choose the difficulty. Now, I took it away because I wanted to easily get into the sandbox and the story mode to test the other one. But I can easily put it back in just for you to see here very quickly. So now, if we go back, I'd speed that up because that takes a bit. Goes to the difficulty screen, and now let's say I choose the hardest one. And I save the game. I'll save it over the first one. Oh yeah, I updated the UI here. So it takes your date when you saved, it takes your difficulty, the play time, the level you're on, so this is sandbox, the chapter you're on, which technically this is none, because I didn't put anything in there. But you can see here, like, this one says prologue, because I loaded from the detective office. It gets your current party. So on this one I have everyone unlocked. On this one I only have Joe and Dan unlocked. And the person here is the leader of your party. So you can see I saved and this all changed. The difficulty is different. So for example, if I switch the leader to Dan, and I disappear because he has no model, and I click save, now it's Dan, and Joe is here. So, yeah, I'm gonna add like a little outline because if you have a character has dark hair, you can't see it. But yeah, that works. So I'm just gonna put Joe back because he's the one with a real model here. What else? What else? Oh yeah, and now the background's gonna be different because I saved here. Oh no, it isn't.
Joe Maverick, Legend of
This is
the
the
City.
sandbox. I have to save in the detective office to get that. So let me show you that. Not here, but here.
Joe Maverick, Legend of the City.
And then after this, it's yeah, we can skip this. Skip it. Speedrunners be like, all right. So if I save here, oh yeah, it auto saves after you load a little chapter for the first time too. So now, if I go to say load, and I check out that autosave, it's right here, right where I left off. So I think that's good in case you accidentally, because yeah, autosaving, it's good like if the power goes out or something. I'm having it, originally I was just gonna have it after a battle. You know, after every battle it autosaves, but at the beginning of the game you don't really fight anyone, so I think it would be annoying to like have to do everything again. So I'm doing it also after the start of every chapter. So yeah. Let's see. Right, I wanted to save here, so you could see. I'll just save over this one. Now if we go back. Now it's a detective office. This is temporary. Because this is just a picture I made like ages ago. But you can see that it's different. And if you go to, say here, you want to change it to random. Now it's this white box because I stupidly saved one location once without putting it in a picture. So we can, there we go. Now it's actually a valid texture. Amazing. So, yeah. Alright. What else? Camera, right. Okay. Let's load that up. So, in this save file, I already took a bunch of photos, which you can see here. So, this subtitle test, you're going to be able to input a subtitle. So, like, for example, you take a picture, and you're like, me and the boys. You can put that here, me and the boys, to describe it for, you know, looking at it in here. You can't do anything to the photos yet because I just haven't coded it in. But they do appear here, so that's great. This one took a little bit too because there's no documentation, but I figured it out. What else? Right, okay. And you can also delete photos that aren't saved. What do I mean by that? So, let's see if I can get this here. Okay, so here's a folder of all the photos currently that I've taken. So when you take a photo, right, let's just take one of this guy. This lady. Let's take a picture of this guy. You can see it right here on right here. This screenshot. Now the issue with this is the photo data is stored in your game save. So for example, if you loaded a different save, you wouldn't see this photo, right? Now the issue arises when you take a photo, you don't save the game, and then you like quit, or you load something else. This file would still technically exist because it's there. So I had to code in a way to delete it when you do that. So for example, if I close the game, it's still here. Oh dear. Windowed mode. Alright. So this is the picture here. And if I load... Actually, if I load it, it's going to delete itself, I believe. Because I coded it in. But for example... yeah, see, there's nothing here. Because it's per save. And the reason why I did that is because if you have multiple people playing the game... So, like, you know, it's you and, say, like, a friend. You have separate saves. You wouldn't want to see the other person's photos. Because it might spoil you. I mean, that would be annoying. So... I decided to keep them separate. So you can see this is a fresh save. There's nothing in there. Which is a problem, because now I can't access this one that I just took and did not save. But if we load one... it gets deleted. So, you know, just a little file management. Because if you don't do something like that for your game, the player could theoretically take like thousands of photos, or however many photos, quit the game, and then it's literally there and they can't access it ever again. And it would take up like gigabytes of data on there. Like, why does this game have so much space on my hard drive? It's because you took a bunch of photos and didn't delete them in time. So it's just to prevent something like that from happening. It probably won't happen, but you never know. It's good to program something like that in, just in case. You know. So that's photos. So theoretically, all these photos are in the game somewhere. They're just across different saves. So this one, for example, has a lot of them. Quite a bit of them. There's also some on the other saves too. But yeah. So that's the photo system. What else? Oh yeah, first time visiting a level. So, for example, on the detective office, if you remember when I just opened it, there was like a little tutorial, right? Of course, when you load from that level again, you don't want to see the tutorial again. So I added a variable that when you go inside a level, it'll just make it false. So you can have stuff that happens the first time you enter a level and turn it off for whenever you go back in, essentially. So this time I didn't get the tutorial because I already entered the level once. Okay, what else? Yeah, sending a message. Okay, so that's something that I added recently too. Let's go back to the sandbox. Okay, so when you when the shopkeeper gets a new item, you get a letter in the mail about it, so you know to go there. And the reason I did that is because I think it's a shame that a lot of RPGs and just games in general, when you progress through the game, there's like a shopkeeper that you go to because it's in the area, but then you just never go there again, which is sad. You know, the further you go along, you just never go back because there's no need to. So I thought this was a pretty cool way to get someone to travel the map again, because they got new stuff. And some games do add new items to the shop, but you never know because there's no notification. So I thought it'd be good to have that. Okay. Anyway, so I added it to here. I believe. So it adds it, even if you don't check your mail, it's there. But, you know, if you check your mail, you can see it. Oops, this is not the right one. This is the class change screen. Should be here, the mail. Alright, go to messages. So I have this one from Matt, who's the, one of the blacksmiths. So he just tells you there's new stuff. And if you go there, there is now new stuff, but I forgot to show you how it looks like originally, so we can just load again. Okay, so let's go over and check. I just made him Joe for So you can see as this is stuck. But now if I go here, he has a gun now. Where'd it go? And everything else disappeared, but I don't know why. It didn't disappear yesterday, but it did disappear today, so there you go. So yeah, it adds something new. I guess I gotta debug it a little more, because that's not supposed to happen, obviously. Actually, let me do that now. I'm just gonna pause, because I know this is gonna take like 15 minutes. I think it's on pause now. Okay, so I found the reason why it did that. It's because I put the variables here, but I was really tired. I think it was like 2 a.m. or something. I just didn't finish it, so they just got set to be nothing. So that's why everything else disappeared. So if I add them here, it should fix that. So I'll just do that. Yeah, I have a habit of just just starting things and just getting distracted or going to sleep. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough being a deaf sometimes. But you know, there's pros and cons to doing it all yourself. The pro is that it gets done because you're the only one who's doing everything. So if it gets done, it's all on you, and if it doesn't get done, it's also all on you. So I like that. You know, I see so many game projects take like 1,000 years or just never get done because they either rely on like volunteers or they have someone and they can't be hired anymore. And it's like, oh, now we need someone to do this, that. It's like, just, it's not that hard to learn it yourself nowadays. You have the internet. It's not hard. And I don't know, I guess it just depends on the person. Okay, so now that I got those in there, now it should work. Yeah, because before I didn't have those variables, so it didn't. Actually, I don't even have to load to do that. I can just go. So let's try that again. Goodbye. You got all this here. Go and add one. And go back. And now it's here. Hooray. So there you go. Alright. Well, that's pretty much all I did. Next time, I'm going to add, I think, achievements, because that's super easy. I know how to do it already. I mean, they're sort of there already. I just have to add, like, the little pop-up when you get an achievement. And, like, a little pop-up when you take a photo, just to make it look a little nicer. And the functionality for the gallery, so you can, like, view a photo, delete a photo, give it a title, all that stuff, so. And, I might also do some more painting, maybe, like, for the shopkeepers and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, if you load the game up, pretty much all the menu items work, except for, skills. Yeah, I forgot all about that. I mean, the world map needs to be refreshed. Skills, too. What else? I gotta do the evidence screen. Quests. I mean, I know how to put the quests in. I just never got around to it. I gotta redo the chemistry bar, but it's getting closer to being demo ready, I suppose. So yeah, that's good. So yeah, I'll do some more stuff, and yeah, I'll let you know when I've got enough for another journal. So yeah, see you then.